we met when we were both young and, just kind of bonded over we were both very ambitious. We both been through things in life that kind of led us to where we were, where we were striving to do bigger and better things and wanting bigger and better things for our lives.
There's so much more in us than you would ordinarily think or recognize, that if you were to leverage and harness, you would be able to do, world-changing things.
Amos, Madra.
Funmi, Bolaji, entrepreneurs, digital sales experts, coaches, parents. What is it that you guys do not do? First of all, a warm welcome to you. Thank you very much for joining us. How are you both?
Thank you for having us, Amos. It's great to be on. We're doing really well. We're doing really well, and we appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you for having us. Very excited to be here.
Absolutely. I've been looking forward to this. So, digital coaches, business coaches, entrepreneurs. Tell us about yourselves. What is it that you both do, and also your relationship as well. Would love to know who you are.
Yep. I'll let the boss answer this one.
Correct answer. No, we're Funmi and Bolaji. We've been married for coming up to 10 years. Have been together for just over 12 years. And we met when we were both young and, just kind of bonded over we were both very ambitious. We've both been through things in life that kind of led us to where we were, where we were striving to do bigger and better things and wanting bigger and better things for our lives. Bolaji's always been very entrepreneurial, a lot more than me, but that kind of inspired me a lot. And along the way in our relationship, one of the things that we always bonded over was wanting to do business and actually wanting to do business together. And so over the years, we kind of, started one business or another. And it's always one of us kind of doing a business, but the other supporting. And trying to work together in that business. One might be more of the main person doing that business whilst the other supports. We had a career training business for project management, that's Bolaji's background. What else? I'm a qualified personal trainer. So I've been doing that for a few years. And again, Bolaji was really supporting me and growing that business. And he's always been very forward thinking in his approach to marketing and getting, entering that digital age in any business, really. And so it kind of came to a head probably around the time of COVID and lockdown and stuff, and really looking at, okay, what businesses can we actually do? Let's look at where we are. We can't go outside, but the internet is there, and there's so many things that are at our fingertips in terms of opportunities. And we started a digital marketing agency, working with businesses to really get more exposure digitally, how to really promote themselves, market themselves. And we are now at a point where we said, right, what business do we want to do together? Where are we aligned? Where is our journey led us to? And it's led us to coaching. I always say to Bolaji, there's a book inside of you. And he's always kind of been thinking about business coaching. And when I hear him talking to people and advising, the advice he's given me over the years, it's always kind of come back to, you're a coach. And, you have this vision, and business coaching is what I see when I look at you. And that's where we are now. So we are together, business coaching and coaching people like us, people who are their parents, they are their partners in life, but they also have this vision for their family to really, what's the word I'm trying to find?
I guess, to bring what is inside you out. And just to kind of add to what you've said, really very great summary of how we've gotten here, where we are now, is essentially, to basically help you to bring out the value that you have. So a lot of people, they will say, oh, I can't do this because, I don't have the skill, I don't have the experience, or, somebody else is doing the same thing, so why would they come to me? Or, or these kind of successes are reserved for that type of person. And, our kind of ethos is very biblical in the sense that, there's that scripture, I think it's in Exodus, where God says to Aaron, "What is that in your hand?" And the significance of that is God has given us everything that we need to get started in something. There's so much more in us than you would ordinarily think or recognize, that if you were to leverage and harness, you would be able to do, world-changing things. But then when we kind of were looking at our digital marketing, digital sales experience, we were looking at the stuff that we were doing for our clients. It's like, this is stuff that everybody can do. And I know I'm going on a bit, but there was a penny dropping moment when I found out about this industry called the knowledge industry. So knowledge industry, I think it's quite big in the States. It's basically just creating online courses. But that industry is valued at about 243 billion, meaning that there are so many people in the world that will pay you for the knowledge and expertise that's in your head. And they'll pay you, a high ticket, a high price. So we were like, okay, we're on a mission now, to help people get on the journey towards financial freedom using just whatever God has already given you. That, like, you don't need anything else. You don't need to learn to trade. You don't need to learn Bitcoin. You don't need to learn crypto. Maybe if you have that skill and you're interested, that's great. But there is something that God has placed inside of you that if you were to harness and leverage it, you can not only impact and change the world, but you can make a lot of money while you're doing it too.
Fascinating. Your gift will make room for you. I believe, as one scripture would say.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. Would I be right in saying that, what you're doing in essence is taking someone's gift, someone's skill, that natural gift that they have, and digitizing it in essence and spreading it out to the world?
100%, yes. So many people have achieved things in their life, that somebody considers significant and valuable. So you could have, you might have a great skill, like, oh, I know how to do accounts. I figured out a way to get myself out of debt, and it's helped me, and I've kind of created a system to show other people. That is something that many people would benefit from. Or, I figured out a cool way to paint in this kind of way, and I've been able to do it, and I'm really happy with it. There might be other people who were like, oh, I want to learn how to paint. Teach me. Like, so many skills that you have that people will pay for. But our kind of journey is, okay, let's educate people on the possibilities and show them that actually you have what's inside you. You have the skill inside you to be able to do it. But also we have kind of like a framework of showing you how to turn that into a business. And that was the ethos of our coaching endeavors. Yeah. And
part of your selling point is that you can still work from home. You can do the things that you've always wanted to do whilst, take the kids to school, running your business. Now, Bolaji, you've been, and Funmi yourself as well, you guys have really been early adopters to this home working method. I think even pre-pandemic, you were already pretty much doing this. So for you, it was just business as usual, whilst the rest of us were adapting to this new way of living and working. Talk to us about that. You guys embraced technology very early. Funmi spoke about, that entrepreneurial spirit and wanting to, to propel not just yourselves, but your community forward. And thus you've embraced these technologies. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's really been fascinating to see how, I guess, lockdown has really propelled things like Zoom, which I was so used to using before lockdown. How many people were like, oh, what's this Zoom? How does it work? And being somebody who already was used to using it, seeing how things are changing from people being so used to doing things in an old-fashioned way to kind of transitioning to being able to do lots and lots of things online. And you know, also being used to working from home to then, so I was working home by myself primarily, but then to both of us working at home and, you know, being able to be around the kids a lot more, it's really opened the eyes. So I mentioned that that I'm trained as a personal trainer. So I used to obviously go out to see people either in their homes or in the gym, or some people I used to see virtually on Zoom to do the sessions. But it's really made me appreciate being able to work from home, being able to be in control of my time and still being there for the kids. So our daughter started school in September, you know, the fact that we're able to pick her up and drop her off, we're able to do homework with her after school, and we can really be a lot more flexible and in control of our time. You know, being the ones to say, I'm not going to work during these times because this time is family time. You know, being able to say, I only want to work a certain amount of hours because I'm able to do that because I'm the one that's in charge. And so that idea to us almost seems so second nature, but so many other people, it's like a whole new world that we are opening up to them. And I think it's where we realize that even people that we know or consider very savvy, very educated, very sort of on the ball, we're realizing that this is a whole new world to them as well. And again, like Bolaji saying, this is where we're realizing, okay, we really have something here, because there are people that are very smart, very intelligent, who could probably package a lot of this intelligence or expertise that they have in an area to actually also get that freedom that they are craving, but they just don't know that this whole world even exists.
Yeah.
And so for us, it's really important that we are bringing this out to our people to show them the possibilities, to show them that you don't have to go to work. You can be your own boss. You can work from anywhere should you choose to wish, you know, should you wish to work from, I don't know, let me take Bali, for example, right? You want to go traveling for 6 months, you can do that because
Laptop life. Yeah.
Exactly. Laptop life that so many people convert, people see, oh, is this really possible? And, you know, we're here to tell you it really, really is possible.
And, you know, as, you know, pioneers in what you do, you know, pushing the agenda and, you know, trailblazing the way. And that's one thing that we always shout about on this show. Does it sometimes frustrate you that maybe people are not catching on to these things as early as possible? And, you know, it's not, is it one of those cases where I told you so, or how does it feel? Is it like, do you have to be patient with people? How do you cope with that? How do you deal with that?
I mean, the way that I deal with it is, you know, just keep showing, keep being an example and giving people opportunity, right? So I believe that any good thing that somebody has, you want other people to, you want to share it, right? If there's something that you're super excited about, not only are you really excited about it, but you know that this is going to be life-changing for someone, I would be irresponsible. I would feel irresponsible if I didn't share it. Obviously, if I share it, I know that, you know, it's up to other people to receive it or not. But at least I've done my job, and, you know, I've done my best to share. I liken it to, you know, as a Christian, you know, the whole concept of evangelism, right? So, you know, we are aware of the good news of the gospel. As a Christian, you're aware of the good news that, you know, you want people to go to heaven through, you know, through accepting Jesus and stuff like that. But I'm not gonna bash it on somebody's head. Say, oh, you must, you know, like, I'm not really a Bible basher in that sense, but I would like my life be an example that if you see me experiencing the blessings that are afforded to me through being a Christian, you're gonna want to know more, you know. So for me, it's always a welcoming, you know, open door. If people are interested in it, then we would love to help. And we're also trying to create environments and, you know, situations where people can feel free to ask and to get involved, you know. So that's kind of why, you know, we've got one of our events coming up at the moment where we're allowing people to kind of get a taste of what is possible by creating, you know, your online business.
Yeah, you know, your faith clearly plays a huge part. Talk to me about how your faith fits in with this business, and, you know, how the two, you know, come together.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this is one of the great kind of intersections of, you know, life and faith, right? Because we're firm believers that everybody has the opportunity to live an abundant life. And we also think there's that scripture that, everything that pertains to life and godliness, God has already given us, right? So as a Christian, I actually believe that, and I don't know whether this is controversial or not, but I believe that all Christians should aim to, do business, to strive for abundance and to strive for wealth, not because of anything other than it's there available to you. God has made it available to you, but you have to take it. But also, there are things that once you have, wealth or finances, you can make the world a better place. For yourself, you have freedom for your family. You can spend time with your kids and, spend important moments together. But also, you can now start looking at, there are big problems in the world that because of, the money that you have access to, you can make a real change. You can begin to start making a real impact. So I would say, yes, as a Christian, the aim to, make wealth so that you can make a real change and impact in the world.
And would this program be aimed at wealthy nations, particularly in the West, or would you want to try and, of course, I'm sure you want to reach out to as many people, but are you going to be, are you going to make every effort to perhaps, I don't know, reach out to third world countries, and maybe because, they do embrace technology in those places. Yeah. What's your thoughts on that? Is that something that you're going to pursue, or 100% focused on the UK for now?
I mean, so good question. And our vision is really it's global, but also we have a heart for, like you say, developing countries and really Africa, right? So being an African myself and ourselves, we want to do everything we can to empower, right? So anything that we can do to help, empower someone to leverage their own, skills to make wealth, then we would do. I've been involved in initiatives in the past where, we've used technology to help, people who are into like agriculture and natural resources to be able to harness their own kind of resources to make money. But they haven't had the opportunities to it because access to banks and, technology hasn't been there. So that's one thing. But this thing that we're dealing with here is very similar, but it's like harnessing the assets that you have, in your mind and in your experience, so that we open up the possibilities for creating wealth, digitally, in a very straightforward way, but just kind of, teach them. I mean, lastly, one of my big visions is, to set up academies in Nigeria and in Africa and other parts of the world like that, where we can actually, build that capability and just create an economy of wealth. Because imagine if you had that, what kind of impact the world could be made on the world from there onwards. So yeah, that's very dear to my heart. Yeah,
it's very inspirational. For me, what's your vision with this business for the future? What would you like to see?
I think exactly what Bolaji said. Yeah, I echo all of that. Just spread the wealth. You can do so much more when money is available, right? And so we want to impact our community by giving them the opportunities to be able to really create financial freedom for their families, giving them the tools that they need to be able to start businesses, but also then to be able to help their communities, whether if it's once you make money, you're a lot more freer with your time, and you have the time available, and you're able to then help those who don't have as much, right? So help yourselves, help those immediately around you, but then help the wider community. You're able to then sponsor people, you're able to subsidize a lot more things because you've been able to create that wealth for yourself. So really our vision is aligned in that we want to be able to help our immediate community here in the diaspora, but also talking about how do we take that to Africa.
Absolutely. Wow, sounds really exciting. So for our audience, how can they find out more about you, more about this program?
So I guess just to explain, we've made reference to a program, but we probably haven't explained what it is. So we have there's a concept, right, that we've been putting together, and we've called it the Financial Freedom Blueprint. And the idea behind that is everybody, no matter your background or circumstances, everybody has the ability to get on an accelerated path towards financial freedom. And our argument is that, one of the best ways of doing that is by starting a high ticket online business. And I'll explain. High ticket basically means, for what you would normally charge. So for what you would normally offer in terms of services, you charge more, meaning that for the time that you're spending, you're making more money, and you ended up you're not trading your time for money as much because you are charging more. So we've kind of put a pathway to financial freedom using digital business as the cornerstone. So there's three parts to it. The first part is leverage. So leverage is where you create that business and you structure it in a way that you can sell it for a high ticket price. Then the next part is what we call lifestyle. So lifestyle is essentially, you get yourself able to create like an online subscription or membership, right? So if you can benefit from subscriptions and memberships, then you're getting passive income or recurring income, right? So then the last kind of stage where we all want to get to is what we call legacy. And legacy is essentially now where the money that you've gained from your leverage business and your lifestyle business, you now invest into assets. So everybody wants to invest in assets, but not everybody always has the money to invest into assets. So we've created like a framework that if you start a digital business, you can now start making enough money to put into your assets. And then over time, the money that your assets are making, it's like your money is making more money. And that money is making more money than what you would have made in the first two quadrants. So that's kind of the argument for why starting a business is the pivotal cornerstone to getting onto financial freedom. Now, to be able to start a business that you can sell services at a high ticket price is not always intuitive to everybody. And there is really one thing that you need. So some people say, oh, I can't start a business because, I haven't got experience, I haven't got, I've not been doing it for a long time, or I'm just underqualified. None of that matters, right? There's the one thing that you need, which is what we refer to as an offer, right? So an offer is kind of like a pitch that when you've kind of structured it correctly and you present it to the right customer, they will buy that service from you at a high ticket price. And I'm talking, $2,000 to $5,000 minimum for one of your services that you might have been charging, 200 and 300 pounds for. So it's real, so imagine if you sold, 4 of those in a month, you're making quickly more money than you would have made in your, annual or monthly salary. So that's why we say it puts you on the accelerated path. And we do this using digital marketing techniques. But the offer that I've just described, we've kind of called it the family freedom offer, because we know that when you get the offer, you get on the path towards financial freedom. And that now we can talk about the program that we mentioned before. So we've created a challenge. It's a 5-day challenge that we're going to walk everybody through the process of creating this offer, right? And it's going to be a 5-day sort of workshop. So there'll be an hour or two a day where we will give live training, practical advice, and you will get homework and exercises that if you do them at the end of the 5 days, you will have your family freedom offer, and you will be able to start, using it to make high ticket income that you never thought possible. So that's our challenge. And you can go to, I think, Amos, you probably have a link that you can maybe share with people in terms of how to access it. But yeah, that's our program. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'll have the link on the descriptions, and also for the audience just to connect with you as well, your social media handles.
Yeah, so it's Family Business Blueprints on Instagram and Facebook, and I think that's it.
Yeah.
And they can find out a lot more there, because I think it's an exciting opportunity for somebody who's looking for just a different source of income, a different way of making money. And as you said, it can be very lucrative business to go into, and it's an opportunity for them to go there, look at your site, understand what this business is about, and if they want to ask any questions, I'm sure they can reach out to you, and you'll get back to them and explain the whole idea to them.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. Wow, guys, thank you so much indeed for joining us today. I really appreciate having you on the program, and we wish you the best. And of course, we'll make sure we'll put the descriptions below so the audience can connect with you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Really appreciate you having us on. I really appreciate it. And thanks and God bless.
Thank you very much.
If you want some amazing inspiration, check out the videos next to me, and I'll see you right there.